This conference will now be recorded.
ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು. ಏನಾಗಿದೆ
ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ.
Mr. Ankegowda, you are ready?
Hello.
You are ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rajni Jain. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajini. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lakshmipati. I'll be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Dr. J Ankegowda, a principal scientist and head at ICAR, Indian Institute of Spice Research, Madikeri, Karnataka. Dr. Ankegowda will be speaking on the topic nutmeg cultivation. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks the agricultureinformation.com for giving the platform.
Welcome, sir.
I welcome all the participants for this program. And then actually, as spice as a per se, the India is known for the spices cultivation. Among that, the tree spices are the spices normally associated with other crops. So they grow as an intercrop in the most of the plantations. The three major tree spices we called nutmeg, clove, and cinnamon. These are the tree spices. Our institute mandate crops. We work with these crops, and then these are the most economical spices, tree spices cultivated in India. So those who want to get more information, they can mail to me regarding the package of practices. All three spices package of practice are available in our website, spices.res.in. So package of practice for growing these spices in your gardens. So those who are interested, they can log on to spices.res. That PDF formats are available. They can download the package of practices. So if you take the tree spices or the spices originated from the tree crops, they are called tree spices. There are 17 species are put under the group of tree spices. They are mainly grown in India, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Jamaica. They are suitable to humid tropical forest of Southeast Asia, Australia, Pacific Islands, and tropical of America. So among them is a nutmeg, cinnamon, clove are the major tree spices they grow. And then in the Western Ghats, we can found the kokum, mostly in the Konkan region. Kokum is quite gambos in Western Ghats, it is quite famous. Curry leaves also come under tree spices. Tamarind is also another important tree spice grown in India. In India, nutmeg is cultivated in the area of around 16,000 hectares with a production of 11,420 tons. Kerala is the leading state in nutmeg cultivation with 97% of the area and 95% in production. Cinnamon is not usually cultivated on a commercial scale in India. Estimated area is around 350 hectares. Tamarind around 61,000 hectares is the production around 1.21 tons. Tamil Nadu leads in the area and production of turmeric. States in India producing tree spices are mostly in the Western Ghats states like Konkan, and then part of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and then Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and somewhere in the northeast. I mean, a northern state like Andhra Pradesh. So area and production states of the tree spices are Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala is leading, Tamil Nadu. In all India, we have a good production figures like for clove, nutmeg, tamarind, and total. So that is all India area of important spices grown. So mostly Kerala, Karnataka is the major contributor, and partly the nutmeg and clove or tamarind and all they grown in Andhra Pradesh and then under Tamil Nadu. Area production and productivity of certain tree species like clove, we have at almost like a 2,400 hectares area with production of 1,160 metric tons. And then it is nutmeg productivity is quite low, around that is what 480 kg per hectare. And then nutmeg we have at 16,000 hectares with production of 11,000 metric tons with almost 708 kg production per hectare. Cinnamon is very nominal, and then we have 500 hectares. Production figures also very low, and then 73 kg per hectare is the productivity. And Tejpat is another spice grown in India. So with an area of around 2,440 hectares with production of 4,980. The leaves are the major economical part, and production is also, the leaves are good. And then come to the production of important tree spices in different states, I already told you. And then India exports nutmeg, maize, cinnamon, and cassia. These are the India export. During 2010 and 11, India exported around 2,100 tons of nutmeg and maize to the value of 9,777 lakhs. So Western Ghats is the place where these crops are grown generally, with the west coast of peninsular India in the north-south direction from the mouth of Tipti River, Gujarat to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. These are the area Western Ghats located. This area is suitable to this area because these are all they are relatively shade-loving plant. Minimum shade is also required. They don't accept the scorched sun. So mostly they are situated in the Western Ghats in Andamalai, Nilgiris. So this is what the zone of the crop grown. Nowadays it is extended to other area because of the cropping system like coconut and arecanut. So our institute is the one of the national active germplasm center for for nutmeg, clove, and cinnamon. So these three are conserved in our institute. Our place called Perunamudi, we have a farm. So they are conserved under coconut ecosystem. So we conserve large number of germplasm in our institute. So this is called nutmeg is called a twin spice, normally grown in the intercropping system like coconut and arecanut in Karnataka, and then mostly as a monocrop in Kerala like Ernakulam district. You can find a large plantations of nutmeg. Many families are depend upon nutmeg as their main crop for their main source of income, and like that. So this is a called a twin spice. There is a nut is called a seed, and then the aerial part like a flower. It is called aerial. It is called maize. So in our institute, we conserving around 510 number of nutmeg germplasm. And Dapoli, there is another in Maharashtra. We have another center called Dapoli. Then they conserve around 98 germplasm. Pichipara in Tamil Nadu, they conserve around 24 germplasm of nutmeg. So come to the output of all this conservation is in clove we registered INGR 04112 at dwarfness. Dwarf clove has been registered, and then cassia, cinnamon cassia is also we registered with high oleoresin of 10.5%. High oleoresin content we registered with NBPGR. In nutmeg, we registered I7 in genotype with 45% and low meristin. This is low meristin is important character. So for low meristin, we registered one line with NBPGR. And then there is another line also, a bold nut with high suberin and low myristicin. It has been registered from our institute as a output of the conservation and then evaluation. And then the important varieties released from different centers. If you see from especially from BCKVA Dapoli, Konkan Sugandh, a tree bear male and female flowers on same plant, high yielding around 500 fruits per tree per year, medium size nut. That is, nut size is important character, almost like 500 gram into 500 fruits per tree per year. Konkan Swag is another variety, high percentage of fruit set and medium size nut, 5.8 gram with high yielding 7 to 750 fruits per tree per year. So that's from Konkan Swag. And then Konkan Srimanti, again from BCKVA Dapoli, high percentage of fruit set, a thick maize, 2.1 gram, and big size nut, 10 grams. ASR Vishwasri and our institute also released one variety, Indian Spices Research, Kolikod, 4,800 kg maize per hectare. At 25 years old vine produces 31,220 kg dry nuts per hectare and 480 kg maize per hectare. This is a calculated figure. So this is what the ISR Vishwasri, so is having a higher yield capacity and then the bold fruits and then nuts also. And then recently with the farmer, we given some material for evaluation in the farmer's field. So the farmer could plant in a line, and then when we went across, and then after establishment, we noticed one good line that is called, we released with a farmer. A farmer is also given a credit in this IASR Kelasri under participatory breeding approach. So from our institute, a first variety released through a farmer participatory breeding program. The fresh weight of ISR Kerala should range from 75 to 100 gram. Seed is around 10 to 16 gram, and maize is 4.5 to 6 gram. This is one of the leading variety, and farmer is also able to make a good number of planting material, and then he's selling it, and also through our institute also he is able to push ISR Kerala to many of the planters who are interested. And then the real problem of nutmeg is the male and female flowers are different in different trees. Some trees only have a male flowers, some trees have only female flowers. So male and female flowers producing trees are less. So as a result, the monoecious trees are less. Both the flower, male and female flowers on the same plant is called monoecious tree. Nowadays, maybe due to the change in the weather or change in the climate, we can find the many of the trees are behaving monoecious, and then they have a male and female flowers on the same tree. So some trees, some of the areas we can find the monoecious tree population, especially in Sirsi and then 1 hour. On this area, we can see the monoecious trees, and then lot of farmers are producing the seedlings and then selling their almost 80 to 90%. They say all the trees are bearing fruits. So as a result, the seedlings also become a plant propagation material for the spread of the nutmeg in many plantations. And then our institute in Appangala, we also have some 26 trees, and then we are conserving them. And then we have a twin seeds material, and then also one variety with one bold seed material. So this we published in the national scientific paper. And then come to the propagation. I was telling already, said the seedlings are the tricky problem because they may be male, they may be female. So females are good, but we need 1:10 male also. 1 male and 10 females are required. So, but identifying at the seedling stage is impossible. And even though many of the papers are published, they say they can identify, but it is very difficult to confirm that at the nursery level they are male or they are female. So as a result, the grafting is softwood grafting, nutmeg and kokum also. It is the same problem we notice. So softwood grafting is adopted So normally people take a seed, they raise the seedling, and then take the scion from the yielding plant, and then the female plant or yielding plant, and then they do the wedge grafting or budding and then wedge grafting. As up to grafting are successful in network. So this is a one technology which is accepted by a farmer. Many people are doing, and then this has become a good business in many of the Kerala farmers. So the suppose if you take the anybody interested to know about Nutmeg, is the best place is Indian Spices Research Kozhikode. This is a place where you can get information, and then we have a germplasm block, and then a lot of research work is going on. Another one quite interesting place in Nutmeg is Konkan Kushi Vidyapeeth, Dapoli, Maharashtra. A lot of varieties has been released from this institute. Then they conserve a lot of material, and then they have a good nursery, and then they are able to supply in thousands. So where our institutes we are able to supply in maybe 100, 200, but Konkan Vidyapeeth is able to supply in big number. So they are doing grafting and then of the released varieties. So another recently the Kerala Agriculture University Thrissur is also come up well, and then they are also doing the nutmeg conservation, and then also they also released a few of the varieties along with the farmers. So they're under the participatory breeding, and then the Kerala Agriculture University is also doing good work. This is one institute can be contacted for nutmeg. And then come to the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, they have a horticulture research station at Erkard. So they are doing good work on nutmeg in Erkard. So these are the four institutes to remember, and then also, so these are most of this information I collected from these institutions for the presentation. So the okay, this is the varietal issues. Come to the problems of this crop also having a problem. There is a dieback. Some of the old trees are dying back, maybe due to a lot of reasons like drainage problem or maybe the it's called dieback diseases. Then Phytophthora is also another. Phytophthora diseases are most. So the Bodo spraying twice a year become a common practice for even these crops to survive. And then the sudden death of the vine, death of the plants, we can notice in many of the plantations, maybe because of root rot diseases. And then leaf spot, many times all leaves will fall off, and then there are leaf spot diseases. So these are the normally fungal diseases which is mostly affecting this nutmeg cultivation wherever they are intensively they are growing. So the best practice is adopt the 2 times Bodo spray and then 2 times copper oxychloride drenching, then drainage also. So these three practices, if we start adopting it, we can overcome the disease problem. Then come to the insect problem. We notice the stem borer, scales, aphids, and nematodes. So these are the common pests in the plantation crops. So especially cardamom, pepper, all this we can see. So the common package of practice used for other crops also, if you adopt and spray, we can manage these diseases. So generally is all it's intercrop plantation in Tamil Nadu and then Konkan areas. So it is between the 4 areca nut or the coconut plantation, they plant nutmeg. So every 4 tree there is a one nutmeg tree, maybe by 25 feet spacing. Of course, the well-designed models are available with Konkan Vidyapeeth, Konkan Vidyapeeth, Dapoli. People who want to go for nutmeg, that is a one institute, can be contacted for the laying the any of the new population in the plantations. So in the Kerala, we can see as a monocrop, as small farmers with a limited land, they grow as a monocrop. Then their trees are so big, and then each tree can yield around 3,000 to 4,000 fruits. And then lot of family, I visited lot of gardens, and then a lot of families are depend only on nutmeg cultivation itself. That become the livelihood for the farmers. Many people are enjoying the cultivation of nutmeg and its output. And then they become a masters, especially in the selection of the plant and then grafting and then even the sale of the plant. So you can see a lot of nurseries by individual planter by naming their own family name to the tree or a nutmeg. They release a lot of varieties and then they are propagating, they are selling to the others. So like that, lot of planters are there, like nurseries also there. So they're depend upon the a tree which gives you their come, and then they are making some money for livelihood by raising the plants and then supplying to the planters. So like this, mostly Western Ghats areas we can see in the Kerala, mostly as a monocrop, or their coconut. Normally, coconut is their base crop, and then they grow arecanut as a intra crop. But anywhere there is not like a well spaced manner. Of course, randomly they planted, and then they are growing nutmeg. And then lot of typical other varieties were identified, like yellow nutmeg in Kottayam. Is a nutmeg variant with a low maize and fruit weight, fresh weight of fruit is 70 to 100 gram. Maize weight is 3 to 5 gram and fresh net weight is 7 to 11 gram. Dry recovery percent of is 68%. Maize is 30%. The color of dried maize is yellow. Germination is 100%. That is one good character of so that they can rise and then they can graft. Then another one unique type is identified with then our scientists also went around and then collected. They published a research paper. So it is not having a seed. It is a nutmeg with only rudimentary seed. So it is almost like that is also a costly spice. So the maize today costs around 1,500, where nut is around 300 to 400 rupees. So maize is a costly spice in nutmeg. So that particular variety only almost gives you a maize only, not with a very small seed. So another quite interesting farmer is Matthew CJ, and then he also has a variety multiplying and then very deep red color maize with a good yield, and then he also raise the planting material and then sell. Come to the what to do with nutmeg is nutmeg, dried nutmeg, anywhere the mothers normally have one or two in the fruit, and then they just use this, they will rub it and then due to a small kids, kids will go for stripping. So this is what that effect of the dried, which is have some additional values. And then come to the after the cell nutmeg are used in the houses also. The nutmeg, dried nutmeg is having a value. Shell nutmeg is also having a value. Then another one is a spice. Maize. Maize is having a more value. And then come to the nutmeg, the powder. Nutmeg seeds are grounded, and then that is available as a marketable produce as a nutmeg powder. And then nutmeg maize powder. So maize on the maize also powder. So value-added products are available in nutmeg. And then territory processed value-added product in nutmeg. There is a nutmeg oil. The oils are also extracted in nutmeg. So you can find the lot of company products. Nutmeg oleoresins are also prepared and then utilized, and that maize oil also, and then maize oleoresin. You take any spice, these oil and oleoresins are common, like cardamom or pepper. So like that, this spice also having the same byproduct. And then we have a nutmeg rind, a fruit. The outer cover of the fruit is called rind. This rind is also having the byproducts, so it can be utilized. One is the rind is used for making a candy. So it has the eatable, they can make a candy for eating, and jam also. They can make prepared jam. Our KVK IASR, we have a KVK in Perunamali. So we are making this byproduct and then training the lot of farmers, and also they are all making their own companies, jam and then preservers. Then come to concentrate. Nutmeg can be concentrated. Concentrates are available. Jelly is there. Health drinks are prepared from nutmeg now. Pickles are made. Many people make the from the rind pickle, and also a juice and then a sauce also. These are the product we can find in the, especially Kerala. We can find the many of the product in Coorg also. You can find some people are making. At the pharmaceutical industry, there were nutmeg cream also, and then pain relieving spray cream has been developed. Then balm also. So these are the pharma products are prepared from nutmeg. So this is all I was telling about the nutmeg. Come to another spice. So then, so cinnamon. Cinnamon is another spice which normally grown in in the Western Ghats. This is one spice. Bark is the most important part, and then it is not a big tree. What our people, we grow cinnamon, we are growing, and then we are allowed to grow as a tree. So it is not giving much value. Of course, recently I heard even leaves are used as a spice in the Bangalore market and all. That is also a good news that people can harvest the leaves and then supply to the market wherever needed. They can get some value. And then normally the leaf, the bark is the important part of the cinnamon. And then mostly Sri Lankan cinnamon only we use. Many people, what we get in the market from Sri Lanka. Indian productions are low, and then maybe the preparation costs are quite high. So in the, especially Sri Lanka, what they do, they grow and then they may give to the what you call the local small scale industries to extract the bark and then collect it black like our agarbattis. So cinnamon veeram is the cultivated one. So this is what we cultivate is a cinnamon veeram. This is a true cinnamon. And then other varieties are like cinnamon whitey is there, cinnamon periotati, and then cinnamon riparicum, and then malabaratum. These are all other species. Mostly we can find in the forest areas. Cultivated one is cinnamon veeram and then cinnamon cassia. So the centers who are working in the cinnamon are ASR. We have 312 accessions conserved in our National Gene Bank at Peruvanamuli in Calicut. And then Konkan Krishi Vidyapit, Dapoli also conserve the cinnamon germplasm. Tamil Nadu Agriculture University at Erkard, Regional Research Station. Bhubaneswar is also having a cinnamon germplasm. Then Kerala Agriculture University at the Vadakali, they conserve the cinnamon. So cinnamon also we released two varieties from the institute. One is called IASR Navashri and then IASR Nityashri. So with 200 kg dry quills per hectare, bark oil of 2.7%, leaf oil of 2.8, bark oleoresin like that. And then Nityashri also released around 200 kg dry quills per hectare, bark oil 2.7. And the ERCAD, the ERCAD released YSD-1, IHRS ERCAD, Salem 360 kg bark per hectare. And then PG-Parai, the ERCAD having another PPLC1, that is 973 kg fresh bark per hectare. And then Konkan Tej from BCKKV Dapoli, around 378 gram fresh kg per tree. Then RRL Bhubaneswar also released one line with a leaf oil of 8%. Then Sugandhini, it is another the Vadakali Kerala Agriculture University released another line. And the Konkan Tej Path released from Dapoli. These are the varieties available in the different stations. Only one important thing is we have to contact these stations to get the material. It is the one difficult part for a planters to go, and then unless the big indent comes, and then these stations are also not producing in big number. So we have to request them for the production and then they can start. Cinnamon, remember these two, cinnamon veeram is the naturally cultivated or a true cinnamon. It is having a thin quill, that is what. Whereas cinnamon, cassia cinnamon, aromaticum is cassia cinnamon, and then Chinese cassia they call. It has a thick bark, so it little higher pungency level. The taste is also little stronger compared to the true cinnamon. So our varieties are Navashri and Nityashri. I already told you this factor. These are the two varieties released from Indian Spices Research, Kozhikode. So I already explained all this. So, and then what to do? Suppose anybody want to grow a cinnamon, they can grow for 2-3 years and then cut at the 1 feet from the ground level. Allow the copy seed to come up. So 2-3 years, if you grow the copy seed, the number increases. So at the almost like detapped at 12 centimeter from the ground. At 1 feet height, you can detop a stump covered by the earthing up. That stump may be covered with little material so that copy seed shoots are utilizing for the bark extraction. Maybe 3 to 4 years, the what you call that copy seed shoots are good for extracting the bark. Repeated for every side shoot developed from the main stem during the succeeding season. Attain a low bush with a 2-meter height in 4 years. So first harvest is 4th to 5th year of planting. That is what happens when you plant. You allow to grow. After that you cut it and then allow to coppiecing it, and then up maybe 2 to 3 years once you can coppice the material and then harvest the bark from the stick. So this you can see the picture how the man sitting and then extracting the bark by a sharp blade, sharp knife. There is a special knife for this. So they use it and then extract, and then the which is not giving any strength, he will use as a dust. That also has a value. So scrapping and peeling operations is need to be done. And then this is how they normally the one day they will cut the growing tree and then maybe like maybe 2 centimeter thick. Then cut the after they dry in the shade for 1 day, and then they start scraping the bark and then cut the using a nice knife. They will cut the special knife is there. Then they will cut. I mean, remove the what we call the bark. Then another important tree is a clove. So this is a clove which is grown mostly in Karnataka. People can grow cinnamon in the wastelands, in the open areas. If they have water sources, they can grow them in the open area. Mostly cinnamon has to be grown in open areas, not under the shade of the trees. So network can be grown under a limited shade, maybe arecanut, coconut gardens. So another important tree spice is clove, Syzygium aromaticum. This is also evergreen tree, and then it is grown mostly in the coastal areas. Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu is the famous. Then Nagarkoil. These are the area clove. And then Kerala, part of the Kerala they grow well. And then our Karnataka, we grow the clove in Sagar, Sirsi, Dakshin Kannada, and then part of Uttar Kannada. These are the Konkan region only. This clove is coming up well. And then once you harvest the unopened bud is called a clove, and then first day drying it takes the light color and then start become darker. So unopened bud is a clove. Normally it comes for harvesting in February. So we have a germoplasm conserved at IASR, a dark variant also available. So the best plantations are in mostly Nagarkoil and then Kanyakumari. Recently, the Kanyakumari clove got the GI status. So this is what the unopened bud is, the clove, and then the institute working are IASR, Kozhikode, Calicut, the Dapoli, the Maharashtra, and TNAU Pechipare. There is another station of Tamil Nadu. Pechipare is doing good in clove. They released one variety recently, a clove variety. So these are all clove. Once you dry, mostly they are sun dried, and then mostly they come in harvesting in February. So they are unopened, but one day harvesting bigger trees, harvesting is difficult. But there are farmers in Wayanad and all, they are getting almost 40 to 60 kg per tree. So even 100 kg per tree people harvested. So the age-old trees are there in Wayanad, which they say they are getting from 6 trees 1 to 1.5 lakhs income. That is the level of output. Only thing is little harvesting it take time, and then it is a delicate plant. But still many people are depend on the for the livelihood with clove also. So rich loamy soils is the humid tropic is required. Cool climate with a well-distributed rainfall thrives from sea level to 1,500 mean sea level. Annual rainfall 150 to 300 centimeter cannot withstand water level conditions. Like paddy lands and all, we cannot go and plant, and then whenever the water rises, and then it also got the phytophthora diseases, then root rot diseases, leaf spot diseases. So mostly like our pepper, we need to take care of this tree also and prefer a partial shade. This is also, it need a shade. Maybe it has to be as a intercrop in the arecanut, coconut, or even some people grown under a partial rubber shade also. On that higher elevation, it can perform well. And then PG Pare released one variety called PPL, PG Pare Clove. Then first flow variety developed by TNAU. So because it is having little good weight of the what you call unopened bud. So this how they collect, and then they start separating from the stick, and then here the even every part is having a value. The fruits they will stop in, even sticks also they take in the market, and then they will separate and dry them in the sun, and then they become dark, black color. So if you take the spices, most species of tree spices produce a fleshy fruits which attracts the vertebrates like birds, small mammals, Malabar hornbills. You can notice mostly in the Western Ghats. So especially Piti, Valparai, Tamil Nadu and all, you can find them. So helping in dissemination of seeds by default, squirrels, monkeys, Malabar, Kuwait. These are all associated animals with the tree spice industry. Tree spices as individual crop are blessed with many potential pharmaceutical, ethnobotanical attributes also. Myristicin, elemicin, and nutmeg are credited with anti-cancerous, anti-inflammatory properties. Cinnamon is at a present much sought after commodity for a variety of ailments such as arthritis, diabetes, impotency, besides this cosmetic use. Though as a horticulture crop, the planter get reasonably good price for these crops. A price system based on the value added component of this commodity may augment their income further beside expanding the production. So these are the crops need to be associated with other crops like coffee, under coffee cropping system we can grow, and then we can grow under nutmeg, arecanut cropping system, coconut cropping system. Any of the permanent cropping system we can grow nutmeg and clove, and then cinnamon can be grown in the open areas like Maidan. Especially the where the sunlight is available. Of course, being a Western Ghats crop, it may need a good amount of moisture. That is one we can give. It can be grown. Even near Bangalore, people started growing nutmeg, clove, and also cinnamon. This is the success stories we can see in Kanakpura area and Chenpatna and all. So it will come up. So with this, I am closing my presentation, and then I will screen it. Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Ankegowda, for an excellent presentation. I now request the participants to ask their questions. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window. Now over to the participants for questions. The first question could be from participants who would be interested in any questions. Are there any questions at all? Mr. Sudhiranjan Mandal, you have any question?
Thank you, sir, Ankegowda, sir. It was a wonderful presentation. It was, in fact, I don't know what to ask because it was so overwhelming. The research of so many years you have provided in 1 hour. less than 1 hour. So I am at a loss what to ask. Now, this average temperature, you said for cinnamon, I think it is 30 degrees maximum.
Yeah, 30 to 32 degree, it comes up well, sir. But if you have a cropping system, if you have a irrigation source, you can grow, sir. It is not that you cannot grow. Only if you have a irrigation even in the drier areas, we can grow these crops nowadays. Not only like Western Ghats, only people can grow.
No, like somewhere near like Anantapur area or where there's slightly drier climate, slightly hotter climate.
Hotter climate with irrigation.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other question? Mr. Nayan Mohanty, you have any question? Okay, no more question looks like, and that is all we have for the day. I'd like to thank the speaker, Dr. J Ankegowda, on behalf of Agriculture Information for taking his time to speak with us with a very detailed and interesting talk and presentation, as mentioned by Mr. Sudhiranjan. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I'd like to thank the speaker, Dr. Ankegowda, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.